Okay, awesome. Everybody, welcome to our Monday night call with our team here, all joining us. And we have the lovely Amanda Simmons here helping us to do a training for us tonight. I reached out to Amanda earlier this week, and one thing I love about Amanda is that she just loves to help. And Amanda and I worked on several different projects in Canada for the Plexus focus group. We've gone to retreats together. We've spent a lot of time together at different events. And so I absolutely love Amanda. She's a mama and a wife to Brandon. She's double emerald household. So she's an emerald and her husband is an emerald. So that's pretty unique to have that kind of situation. And she is a really hard worker. It's something that I really admire in Amanda, being a young mom and then also trying to keep up with all the things that kids do, as well as run a business and then help her husband on the side too with his business too. Because I know she has some handle in that also, but she'll maybe talk on that a little bit if she chooses to. But Amanda, do you just take it away and feel at home? I know you know many on the call, and we're just so excited to have you here and to learn from you and just glean a little extra information so that we can all continue to row in the same boat and help Canada to grow and build and be a strong representation for Plexus. So you go right ahead, girl.
Thank you. So me and Krista actually met picking oranges in Florida, and it was the
I knew
first
you were going to tell that story.
I didn't know that oranges grew on trees. I was that sheltered before the business. I didn't go anywhere other than a road trip, and I was like, this is crazy. And so she's these crazy videos of me. I didn't even know it was illegal, taking them in my bag and the bag dropping and oranges flying everywhere. So that's how we met, and we've been friends ever since. It was a friendship at first sight. But I'm just so excited to be here. So I'm in Alberta. I'm a mom to four. I'm 35. I started Plexus when I was 29 and became Emerald at the age of 30. So quite young. But I just knew something needed to change for our family. And so I just want to share a little bit today, though, about duplication. I feel like that is a topic that can be loved or hated. And so I'm hoping that if you feel frustration with that, you can leave with a little bit of clarity tonight and peace and excitement towards it, like I have for it. And so I'm excited to share about that. I just wanted to share something that happened to me in 2023. Just because you're an emerald or you're wherever in the company doesn't mean we don't have struggles. And so I invested in a six-figure summit that Brooke Hemingway was running. And part of what I paid for was a coaching call. And so I was very excited and nervous. And I got on the phone with her and I was like, oh. And she said something to me. And I got off the phone and I cried. It was like, what? I love people. I love people. And so something she said to me, so I was frustrated because I said, I don't feel like I'm duplicating enough. I recruit really well, but I'm just not duplicating. And I just like, you just want somebody to fix it for you, right? You want somebody to tell you what's wrong. And so she did. She said, Amanda, it's because you're transactional. And I was like, mortified, mortified. And I got off and I was like, I am not. I went to my husband and I was like, Brandon, she said this to me and she's wrong. And I love people and I'm not transactional and I love my customers. And then I had a moment with myself and Jesus and I was like, you're acting that way. Not because I didn't care, but because I'm a type A and I'm a checklister. And so I was doing what I should do. I was doing my check ins, I was doing all the right things. Anyone relate? I was checking how they were pooping. And I just didn't understand. I was asking them to post. Okay. I was doing all the right things on the list. It wasn't a system that changed things for me, it was relationships. And I am going to talk about a few key things that you can take from this so you're not just like, okay, Amanda. Um, it's really the basics that move the needle forward. And so what's very cool, and this is just to show the impact that this had on me and the impact it can have on your business. I went from struggling, having almost any level one duplication to January of 24. I just bawled like a baby. Not because I was like, wow, I'm so amazing. It was a humility moment for me to sit there and wow, like this is working. And so in Super Saturday, I was in the top 10, I think, for ambassador upgrades, or 8, top 10 for gold development in the company level 1, and top 16 for level 1 duplication company wide. And up until then, people say it as a compliment, but I was the high recruiter in the company. And I don't know why I took offense to that. And so when that happened, I was like, I am a duplicator. Like, I can do this. I can be good at 2 things. And what shifted for me that year, though, was relationship building and not being so transactional. And so, what is very cool is after I had that call with her, I was like, well, what do I do about this? Like, how do you fix this? She said, well, I think you should do wellness calls with people. And I was like, oh, wellness call? Are you joking me? Like, I'm the kind of person that has to backspace to ask how somebody's life is going for the day because I just get right to the point. And I'm like, hey, I just go right to what we're going to. And so that was an adjustment for me. And so she said, yeah, do wellness calls. And so I'm going to tell you a story about somebody named Molly. Is she on here? Sweet Molly from New Mexico. She just about hit senior gold last month, and she just about was gone. So she's a level 2 to me. She's my adopted level 1. And when Brooke did this, I made it an appointment to go through my back office, especially new people. She was one of the new people, and get on a FaceTime with them. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what we'd be talking about. I felt like it was a huge waste of time. I was in my auntie's house in Utah, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I got on a FaceTime with her, and she was about to quit her products. So this was tap reading. This was my level 2. She was just about to quit her products, and she's going for jewel. She's doing all the things. She's pushing for senior gold, and she would have been another canceled subscription in my back office. And so I've made it an appointment since then that when I look in my back office, those are not ID numbers to me. Those are not just people, they are families. They are moms, they are sisters, they are daughters, they are wives. And when you can move it from a shift of points and ID numbers and poop check-ins to human beings that are looking for something, it will change everything in your business because people can feel when you genuinely care, and people are more likely to post for you. It has nothing to do with them being open to a business. How much are they bought into you? That's what it is. Because I can really say that the people that post for me, and even level 2 and 3s, they have trust built with me. You know what I'm saying? And so I want you to just take a step back. And if you are where I was, you can be helped. It's okay. It doesn't mean you don't love people. You just need to just reassess and readjust. And so I call it your relationship inventory. How many relationships, not just in your back office, but just in your life, do you have that you are currently invested in without expectation? Who are people that you genuinely want to get to know whether or not they chose to do the business? No expectations, just, hey, I really like you. I think we should be friends. One of those human beings in my life, and we both are friends because we call each other a human being, is Kristen Thomas. Anyone that knows Kristen, put a 1 in the chat box. So she's one of my senior golds in New Brunswick. And we became very good friends. She was my Epicure rep at the time. And I was actually coaching her in her Epicure business, not to try to take her to Plexus. I just loved her. And we talked about a lot of faith and God. And we really genuinely loved each other. And so Epicure, as you know, closed. The doors shut. I was the second person outside of her husband that she told before it became public. And she said, I want to sign up with you tomorrow. And I was like, Kristen Thomas, no. I said, you need to grieve. And she's like, no, ma'am, I don't. I'm signing up with Plexus and I want to do this with you. She was bought into me as her friend, not into the company, but into me. And so I just genuinely, I want you to think about that. Scale back. Or maybe there's someone in your back office and they just won't post for you. And you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Just connect with them. And so when Brooke told me this, I started looking back at conversations
A high protein banana bar. This is the
VIP. And what I was seeing a lot of was like check-ins without, I couldn't have told you because I sign up a lot of strangers. I couldn't have told you how many kids they had, where they were from, did they work, what were their needs? Because we can't fill a need, we can't vision cast if we don't even know what the need is. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about wellness calls. I don't know if Madeline is on here. She's in the running right now for CSBB. She went fast start golds. She's developed 4 silvers, massive duplication, massive growth. We do wellness calls. And I can tell you that her silvers have had a wellness call. And her people that are the strongest in duplicating right now, we had wellness calls. I cannot, the data is so strong with this. And so what we do when their products arrive, we get on a FaceTime and we connect. And so I really don't even care what you talk about. I'll tell you some things that I talk about, but what my big thing is that I take away from this is that I have a no love and trust relationship with them. That's all. That I know them for who they are as a person. And so I asked, what they do for work, how many kids do they have? I just really try to get to know them. It's amazing for retention as well. We'll talk about add-on products. Like this one lady yesterday, I'm like, you know what? Active would be great for you. And so we got Active added to her subscription. We talk about, the loyalty program and all of those things, but we really connect. What I also love to do, and the benefit of being face-to-face, when you ask for a post, they can't ghost you. I mean, they could hang up on you. I haven't had that happen yet, but I'll get buy-in for a post. And so I find it gets people sharing a lot quicker. I'm not sure who was on the Palooza that I trained on last month. If so, my apologies, because you'll hear a few things. I won't spend too much time on this. If you were on there, here we go again, but it does just work. I get at least half, if not more, VIPs to post. I'm not going to give like scripts and words, but what works really well is micro committing people. So what I don't do when I have a new person is just like send the income graphic for the month and like tell them how it's going to change their life. Because like, right? I get people sharing so they don't even realize they're doing a business. Like they don't even realize they're doing it because we just slowly kind of work our way into that. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, wow, I didn't even realize I was doing this as a business, but here we are. And so I really like the terminology of cash back. So I'm not talking silver, I'm not talking ambassador, I'm not talking upgrading. I'm literally just like, hey, like we're on a FaceTime. I would love to get your products paid for. Did you realize you can get $400 cash back on your products if just 3 friends do this health journey with you? And then I asked them if they'd be willing to look at a post idea. I'm not asking them to post. Do you see the difference? Because you don't want to do that. The problem is if you just ask for the post, they don't know what they're saying yes to. I'm an extroverted introvert. If somebody asks me what I'm doing on Friday night, I will not. I'll be like, why? Like, are we going out for dinner? I don't know. It just depends. I might be busy. They want to know what they're saying yes to. And so I find it just takes it down a step where you're like, will you look at a post idea, just sharing my results? And then you also let them know what their expectation is. And I say, I will help anyone that's asking. You don't have to do anything else. And so I find using this kind of language, those are just like the principles behind it of why I word it that way. At least half will post for me, which is a huge, it's taken me years to figure out, okay, like, because I was like, a lot of people weren't doing it. And that's where the trust factor comes into place as well. If they're like, I don't want a business, or they kind of step back, make it about you. People are more likely to do it for you than themselves. Make it about you and be like, I totally respect that. Would you be willing to do it just to kind of support my business? And I can just pay you for each referral. Like I get that and make it about you. A lot of people, it's not that everyone will, but a lot more people will be open to that. So I also ask for the post. I like to do like almost an unboxing with them when their products come so we can open it up together. They can ask any questions that they have and go from there. So the other thing I wanted to talk about duplication is sometimes I'll hear people say, we're a messenger event team. we're a Zoom team. We're a whatever team. I am not an XYZ team because everybody will duplicate differently. Does that make sense? For some people, Zoom's just not going to work. Messenger events are not going to work. And so really try to meet people where they're at. And this is where getting to know them makes a difference. So Giovanna is a dear friend of mine. She has signed up 3 times with me. Generally, she grabs a reset and I'm like, I'll see you next August, Jovi. She just gets it and she's gone. And this time, this was last August, I said, Jovi, I think it would be fun to go to Mexico together because she's Latina. And I said, so I'd asked her to post multiple times. She's done it before and it doesn't go anywhere. And so then I threw out the idea. She's like, yes, I would love to go to Mexico. I said, okay. So then I throw out the idea of a party. That woman lit up like I cannot even tell you. Her eyes got big and she was like, a party? A party? And she, like those Latinas, I'm telling you, she's whipping the guac up. Like they had so much food. I brought a vegetable tray. I'm like, this is like, she had all this food. She earned the Mexico trip off of in-person events. It was not off of posting. We literally just rinse, wash, repeat. We did the in-person events. I have other people that would rather be dead than do an in-person event. So one of my silvers the other month, she won't post on social media. And I knew she wouldn't, but I also knew there was $700 on the table. And so I spoke the objection out. So just because somebody has told you no, listen to why they're saying no. That matters. I knew she said no to posting. She didn't say no to sharing. And so she ended up going fast start silver and getting her 3 because we did that in a different way. And so try to meet people where they're at and maybe think of those people in your back office that you just kind of let go because you're like, oh, they won't post for me. Try and think of a different way. The other thing that I do is I push back. I push back a bit. So I was vision casting the other month to a dear friend of mine, and I sent a voice message, and she wrote back. Actually, no, she didn't write back. She ghosted me. And so I went back to her. I was like, did you listen to this? Like, I touched base with her. She said, yes, sorry. She said, well, I don't think that's going to work because my friends are all broke. And so I don't think this is for me. And then she started telling me a little bit more about what she was doing for work. And she said, honestly, I don't even think you'd recognize me anymore after the last 5 years of life that I've went through. And so then I said back, and this is just what came to me, but I mean, I guess this could be good languaging. I told her, let me write this down. I said, if nothing changes, what will it look like if you do this another 5 years? And I didn't realize how powerful that statement was. That's when she decided to share. She went fast start silver. We're pushing for fast start senior silver. And I want her to see her retire and get out of the job that she doesn't love, And so push back a little bit. That's some good languaging that can help. The other thing I want to talk about is Gold Rush. So Monique knows I'm a numbers girl. I love math. I love numbers because it's really helped me with vision casting for people. And so who's excited for Gold Rush? So low-hanging fruit. Maybe it's for yourself. If you have been just like hanging close to a gold or a senior gold re-rank, or you have a level 1 that's close to that, or you just have somebody brand new you want to vision cast the business to. I want to share something. So there's a lot of money when you duplicate. So often we think of recruiting. So last quarter, when they had the duplication bonuses, the development bonuses for golds, I have a $3,000 paycheck coming from development bonuses right now from silvers and senior silvers in my team in the last 3 months. So I started breaking down cash for the Gold Rush. That stacks on top of half the fast start. So if you got a fast start gold this month that went silver, senior silver, and gold, that's possible. You would actually get $500 US $655 Canadian, getting them because you get their fast starts on top of the gold development bonus, or the gold rush, sorry. That's incredible, you guys. That is incredible. And so a few things I want to talk about that I'm personally doing for gold development this month. And if you're re-ranking a gold or senior gold, take a gold with you, right? Like, do it with somebody else. And so what I like to do at the beginning of my month personally is I will reconnect with customers. So this isn't like, hey girl, did you realize this goes back to the connection piece? I will reconnect with people in my back office, right? We have 31 days. We don't need to like go crazy. And so reconnecting, they're more likely to do this with you, find a need, reconnect with your customers in your back office. Maybe it's somebody you've been relationship building with. Reconnect with people at the beginning of the month. The other thing that I do as well is, if you saw my post today, I post a lot about the business. So when you're looking at duplicating, if you're finding that you're posting a lot about the products and you're not posting a lot about the business opportunity, and you're like, man, nobody's coming in wanting to like blow this up with me. Well, you need to talk about it. And so one of my girls that went silver the other month, I posted about the business, and she kind of like shyly came to me. She's like, I want mortgage money. I said, well, like, let's go. And so what I find, we're going to dig into Kendra Hall, Stories That Stick. I don't know if anyone is at convention that heard her speak. So we're actually doing that as a book study starting tomorrow for my team. And so I've been really trying to dig into storytelling. And so I did a post today talking about 7 years ago, and I took them back to the grocery store where I didn't know if I had enough money on my debit card at the checkout. That's relatable. And that doesn't mean that that has to be your life. You can storytell whatever makes sense to your life, but that's where people are going to position themselves in that story. So graphics I find great for your stories. Typically that's not going to stop the scroll and have someone be like, wow, like you want to speak to an emotional need. And so I'm also doing that. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is belief. So I talked to my team about this, and I'm going to address a few things with that. So I really think, and at least in my own experience, it's very difficult to pass belief into vision cast to people if you don't have it for yourself. It's really difficult because if you don't think it's possible, they're not, unless you have a unicorn that's like doesn't need any belief given to them and they just like see it and they're like, okay, I'm going to go. They need your belief. And so if you're not there yet, that's okay. But what I want to say to you, get into action anyway. Do it anyway. If you're lacking your belief, do it anyway. You know more than your VIP knows. You just do. And so trust yourself, trust your gut, trust who you are, and get into messy action. So I went Emerald in a year, not because I had the perfect systems, not because I knew what I was doing at all. But I got into action. I was doing coaching calls when I was a gold. I didn't know what I was talking about, like at all. But people felt so seen. They were like, wow, she's getting on a call with me and she's already at gold. Like they're not silver. Like they literally just signed up. They're like, they look up to you. And so get into action anyway. Coach people anyway. Figure it out with them and do it regardless because people need your belief to be able to go forward. In Mel Robbins, I started reading her book. What's it called? Let Them. And anyone that's read it at the beginning, she talks about how she felt super underqualified. And she spoke on stage in front of 700 people. And all of a sudden her mind just went blank. And she's like, I just gave my email out. She's like, I don't even remember doing that. And then she started sharing about this 5-second rule, this 5-second thing that she'd been practicing in her life. and it ended up like going viral, going everywhere, and she changed her entire life in 14 years from that day. And so the people, the leaders, it's not that they don't feel underqualified, that they don't feel inadequate. We all do. I do, right? We're always growing. I'm never going to feel like I've made it, but do it in spite of that. Do it in spite of that, because the world needs your voice. They need who you are. And that's relatable. People are going to relate to your story. Tiff Peterson, she's a very dear friend of mine, and she's a speaker. And I said, Tiff, how did you get here? Like, how did you do it? I said, I want to be a speaker one day. How did you get up there? And I thought there'd be like this big story. And she looked at me and she said, because I decided to get up there and not stay in the crowd. That's all. I just decided to do it. She said, I'm no better than you are. I'm no better than everyone else. I just decided I wanted to do it. And so I did. And so, whatever that is for you, whatever's holding you back in your business, I encourage you today to free yourself of that, because the only one holding you back is yourself. And so, I want you to write down, or just put it here for now and write it down later, one thing. Like, not everything, because you're never going to do everything, right? Like, not a whole page. One thing that you might have heard today, or that you might have just like had come up in your head. What is holding you back in your business right now from duplicating? What is that one thing? And do that. And so I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited for Canada. Guys, Leaders Retreat, they generally backdate retention. And so everything that we talked about today, when you get into action in the summer, I'm telling my team, don't wait till September. I always sweep. Generally, I double sweep these contests, and it's not because I'm like, I start early. Get in the game early, you guys. Start now. Have retention coming in September. Have relationships built with people without expectations that they're going to want to earn this trip. They're going to want to travel with you, right? Like, they're going to want to go there with you. And so that starts now. That's not like overnight. You send a cold message in September and all of a sudden, maybe, maybe. But generally, it's people you have existing relationships with that they want to be there with you, right? They want to travel with you. Genevieve told me once, she said, Amanda, I don't work with people that I wouldn't want to have a road trip with. And so that's how I practice too. I'm like, who do I want to build with? Who am I spending my energy with, my time with? And I can genuinely say I love my team. We were laughing to the point that I'm sure the server thought we were drunk at convention. Like, we were living our best life. I love my team. And so relationship build with people that you love. And then if they never do plexus, it's okay, because you have a new friend that you can love on, right? And so I'm excited. I can't wait to see you guys in Orlando. It's going to be so much fun. And I am cheering all of you guys on.
Amanda, thank you.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Can you hear me? You can hear me. Amanda, I wanted to ask you some questions because you did such a fabulous job, and thank you so much. I know we have like lots of little tidbits to take away from it. So speak to, first of all, I want to say I love that you take ownership of your own business. Even when you were gold, you were doing your own coaching calls, you got right into the thick of it. And this business loves speed. And I think for you, and just because I know your background and things like that, you saw an opportunity where you could move faster if you just got out into the thick of it and did it on your own. And so just speak a little bit about the importance of speed. And when you're doing your wellness calls and things like that, you're not just doing one wellness call, you're doing multiple wellness calls throughout the month. So what does speed do in our business?
Yeah, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because when I had that call with Brooke, and I want you to ask yourself this question, and I might not feel comfortable, and that's okay. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable today. So if you did what you're doing in your business and in your life every single day for the next 12 months, where would your business be in a year? Be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself, because when there's not that with the speed requires duplication. And so if I had been doing what I had been doing, I think you guys are going to read the 10X Your Business book. You cannot 10x your business. You cannot go jewel. You can't do that alone. And for any control freaks out there like me, that's scary.
Mhm.
It's like, oh man, it sounds easier doing it by yourself. I
Mhm.
hear you loud and clear. It is not, because I've done both. It is not. And so when you can duplicate, and I also want to tell you guys, the month before my husband went Emerald, do you know what happened in February? We had 24 VIPs, and the next month that he went Jewel, we had 150 VIPs and 17 new ambassadors. 31 days later. And so with that, wherever you are in your business, it doesn't have to take forever. It takes when you just decide, I've had enough. I've had enough. I'm not staying here anymore, because wherever you've been, wherever you're via, none of that matters. Like, that's behind you guys. All you have is what's in front of you. And if you're seeing the same things happen over and over again, you're like, man, I'm just like maintaining and I keep hitting the same points. That's probably your target, because that's all the evidence you have that can make it true. And so when you can start duplicating fast, your business will explode. And it can be easy to get, especially if maybe some of you have some leaders and they're doing their thing, it can be easy to get comfortable. It can be easy. That's kind of where I got to 2023, right? Like, I had a senior Ruby, I had a Ruby, and it just got comfortable. There's no growth in the comfort, right? And so when you can have massive level 1 new growth, and your team, when they see you moving, they get to work too.
Mhm.
They get to work. Something else I did want to talk to as well, really quick, Krista. Sorry if this is long. Madeline.
You're good.
She has a gift, and I wish I've developed this gift. It's not natural. She is a community builder, that woman. I'm like, you just keep doing what you're doing, babe. So she has a chat with her ladies. They're all local in Quebec. And she'll go in there and she'll be like, hey, what are y'all doing this weekend? Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And they're sharing. You know what's really cool about it? So it's not really a team chat. I don't know if y'all are in some team chats. It is, but it isn't, right? It's like her community chat. And so there's this woman in there that posted once and had an amazing network, never posted again. But we went in there and we're like, oh my gosh, like, this person's made this much money, and this person, like, we don't do it a lot, but I'll just like kind of pop it in there sometimes. And then I saw this woman like, wow, guys, that's insane. And I thought, there it is. So then I go to her side chat with her and Madeline. I said, you ready for another post? She was getting FOMO because she's like, well, they're all making money. It normalizes the sharing. So they have a great community and they do events together and they have relationships. So if you have a local community, do events together. But like, don't be scared to have a community chat, and sometimes just pop that in there a little bit. And we also do countdown chats. So I love to be in a chat with my level 1 and their level 1, and we'll make the chat like, Elaine's going silver, or Elaine, sometimes I use money. Elaine's making $400. And then we do a countdown and we just drop that number down. It's really fun, and it kind of gets them excited when they see the number drop. But anyway, sorry, I went a little off on that. Those are things I wanted to talk about, I forgot about. But yes, success loves speed. I also just want you to know that if it takes you longer, that's okay too. Don't compare yourself, because one of the things that has held me back in my business and slowed it down is comparing how quick
Mhm.
Susan's going, where Jane is. We don't see what's happening. They might look super successful, but we don't know what else is going on. And so don't compare yourself. I have a girl in my team, and I sent gifts to her. I said, I want you to open these when you take this idea, if you want, when you hit different point goals. And it's just from the dollar store with tissue paper. I said, like, open it up when you hit a certain point and send me a video. She sent me them back in December, a box with a goodbye letter. I almost cried. She's still here.
Oh,
Don't you worry. She made a decision and she's tripled her business since then. She had to make a decision and I didn't give up on her. But you know why she sent it back to me? She sent it back to me because she said she felt like she was letting me down, and that other people in the team deserved it more than her because they were going quicker. And I looked at her and I said, if you knew of somebody and it took them 12 years to go emerald, would you be like, would you look down on them? Would you be like, wow, it just took you long enough? Or would you be inspired by that? And she was like, whoa. And so she took so the cool part is when she took that like off of her shoulders, that timeline and that stress and that comparison, she got her gifts back and she unwrapped one the other month. Her business exploded because she stopped caring what people were thinking, what this person, what that person, da, 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 da. And she just started staying in her own lane. And so all that matters is that you're a little bit better than you were yesterday. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it is easier to go quicker, but also don't beat yourself up. Or maybe you're like, I don't want to. Some people don't genuinely want to. They're happy building steady like this, and that's okay too. So build at a pace that feels right to you, but also know that you can double your business in 31 days if you want.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That's awesome. Does anybody else have any questions for Amanda? Just drop them in the chat. We'll just give it a few minutes. While they're doing that, I have one more question. If you want to build a business, how dedicated do you need to be to it?
I mean, that's a tough question because it depends how quick you want. What do you want, right? Your words need to match your actions. So I'll see people that say, "Oh, I want emerald and da 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 da," and it's like, okay, well, like you have to be willing to put in a lot more work. You know, there's going to be sacrifices. For me, I will send this to you. You can send it to your chat. I time blocked when I started, so I didn't really go into my story. When I started, my kids were 2, 3, 5, and 7. They all have a form of ADHD, and it's just chaos, honestly, at my house. Brandon was working full-time, in school full-time, and I actually was in school full-time during summer holidays with my 4 children, my husband working and in school, and I went gold in 6 weeks while doing all of that. I finished my research paper. I ranked up. At that point, I was like, this is too much. And I stopped school and I started doing plexus. That just was an alignment for me. I did time blocking. So if you're busy, you can be successful at this and be busy. Christina Williams taught full time when she went Emerald. Time blocking worked for me. If you just search time blocking, just Google it. I can send you my template. I basically chose 4 key areas in my life that I could fit on it. So this isn't scheduling per hour. Okay. I want to make that clear. That would give me anxiety. It was like, okay, so I had my 7 days. Sunday was a no work day, so there was nothing on there. I worked during my kids' nap time. So I had 4 colors. Red was business. Yellow, I think, I can't tell you guys, but like my basic areas were business, my family, self-care at that time was showering, I think, and maybe being with Jesus. I did not have a lot of self-care time, maybe grocery shopping. And then the 4th one was time with my husband. And so I picked 4 main areas. Maybe school was in there. And then I had dedicated time blocks. So I knew, and I will send you a picture of that when I went Emerald in 12 months. Now, July was chaos. So that the whole thing broke in July when we just did it. But for most of the year, I was maybe working 2 hours a day. But that's where you have to look at the return of investment of the time. What are you putting in and what's that going to give back to you? So if you're just sitting there hustling, trying to recruit people all day, I wouldn't be spending my 2 hours doing that. I was still recruiting, but I was like building people. I was being bold about the business. So just be careful. If you only have a little bit of time, how are you spending it? So yeah, anyway, I can send a picture of the time blocking and I will not warn. We love our husbands in our team. And I worked very hard in those 12 months. And I spent a lot of nights on my phone disconnected. And I will never do that again. I will never sacrifice that time with my husband for a business ever again. There are sacrifices you need to make. I was out of alignment completely. And so do it at a pace that makes sense to you. Time blocking can help, but make sure to prioritize the most important things because you can be successful and you can keep that in alignment. You don't want, if you're building this for your family, you don't need to sacrifice the very thing that you're building this for.
Yeah.
So just be careful. with that.
Yeah. And I think that we both probably understand each other completely on that, because I was the same way. Like, I was just off the rails, all in with what I was doing. And it really did overtake my life, and did not have time blocking, did not have boundaries, that sort of thing. You can build this business even in the chaos seasons of when you're going for a rank, with a lot of peace and harmony in your household. I've even told that, now that I'm more experienced down the line, will tell others that I do see doing that, like, hey, you need to take a little break, and make sure you take a day off, and, go put your feet up somewheres, and not, go all in to the point of where you're driving yourself crazy and your whole household crazy. So, yeah. Um, that leads me, though, to when you are going for a goal, because you did mention it, about how there will be seasons of chaos, but that's where you have communication with your home and your partner, or whoever's, has to deal with you through that chaos. But there are seasons of chaos, isn't there? Like when you're going for a goal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think the biggest thing is communication.
Yeah.
And I see this in a lot of the couples in my team where it's like they can't read your mind. I think resentment or frustration can come when there's a lack of communication. So
True.
sit down with your person and look at it and become aligned with what that looks like, so they know, oh, right, like this is her working time and then I get time. And that's where I love the time blocking. Be intentional. Be focused. Your team deserves your focus when you're with your team. Your husband deserves your focus when you're with him. Your kids deserve that focus, right? Like, just be intentional and you'll get a lot more done quicker anyway. If you're really just laser focused on your business, get in and get out. And I'll tell my kids, and my kids are aligned too with my goals. Like, they know what we're doing. They've done countdowns for me. Yeah. So just be aligned with that. But there are seasons where it's chaotic. My kids know month end is a thing. They're like, oh, it's month end. Faith's like, it's 28th, isn't it? And we're sitting in church. She goes, it is Faith, but we go to church.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, month end's a real thing.
They all know. They know the day it starts. They know the day it ends.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
good. They know the expectation, so that's
But
really
it's
great.
worth it because they know the sacrifice and that we're together all the time. Like, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? And
Yeah.
so they get
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, everybody loves you, Amanda. You're always one of our favorites, and I just want to say thank you so, so much. I appreciate you and all that you do. And I didn't see any questions in the chat, so I think we'll just close it out. And I might get back to you needing some of those things that you had mentioned too. So I'll reach out to you privately about that. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Have a great night,
Thanks,
everybody.
Amanda.
Bye.
It was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Good night,
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, bye, bye.